4, we're identifying the type of slope from the graph. So it can either be a positive slope, a negative slope, 0, or undefined. Okay, so this first one is right here. So that is our undefined. Remember from the other day, that is our Vux equation. The U stands for undefined. This line's going down, so that is negative. This one is horizontal, so that is our 0 slope, because that's our hoi, which is 0. And then this one's going up, so that's positive. Okay, use the slope formula to find the slope from the following sets of points. Remember, the slope formula from 2 points is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. Fraction bar minus minus. So we have 5 minus 6 at the top, 6 minus 5 at the bottom. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. 6 minus 5 is positive 1. Remember, you reduce, so that is negative 1. Okay, the next one, we have x1, y1, x2, y2. So we have our fraction bar, we have our minus at the top, minus at the bottom. Negative 4 minus negative 4. And then at the bottom, we have 1 minus 9. Remember, when you have minus and a negative, it's a big plus. So we have negative 4 plus 4, 0. 1 minus 9, negative 8. Remember, when the 0 is at the top, our slope is 0. Okay? All right, fraction bar minus minus. So at the top, we have negative 2 minus 4. At the bottom, we have 10 minus negative 2. So negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. 10 plus 2 is 12. Remember, I can divide both these by 6. So that gives me a negative 1/2. Okay, last one, x1, y1, x2, y2. So we have 8 minus 6 at the top, 4 minus 4 at the bottom. So 8 minus 6 is 2, 4 minus 4 is 0. Remember, when the 0 is at the bottom, it's undefined. Okay, we're going to change the following equations to slope-intercept form. So we are solving for y. Okay, so remember, we first move the x. So we're going to circle our x, and we're going to move it to the other side. Then we change the sign. So we have plus 8x, and it disappears from that side. Then we divide by the number in front of y. Okay, so then we're dividing everything by 2. So we have y equals 6 plus 8 divided by 2 is 4. So y equals 4x plus 6. Okay, same thing over here. Move the x, change the sign, divide by the number in front of y. So we have y equals 30 divided by negative 6, so negative 5. Remember, 2 over negative 6 is going to reduce because I can divide the top and bottom by 2. So I have negative 1 over 3. So we have y equals negative 1/3 x minus 5. Okay, write the following equations using point slope. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Remember, we plug in for y1, m, and x1. So we have x1, y1. So everything starts y minus negative 6 equals 3 times x minus 2. The minus and a negative are now a big plus. Now we're taking it to slope-intercept. So we bring down the left side, distribute the 3. So 3x minus 6, because you multiply. Now we need to move the 6 over so that y is by itself. So we have y equals 3x minus 12. Okay, if we would have looked at the answer choices, when we look at m, remember this is mx plus b, so we could have eliminated b and d, and now we know it is for sure c. Okay, so on this one, x1, y1, we have y minus 7 equals negative 1/2 times x minus negative 4. Bring down the left, y minus 7 equals, remember this minus negative is really a plus, so we have negative 1/2 x minus 2, because half of 4 is 2. Then we are adding 7. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5. And that would be our answer. Okay. On this side, we're finding slope. So slope, remember, is rise over run. Okay, your y-intercept is always 0 and then a number. Your x-intercept is always a number and then 0. Okay, so we're going to pick 2 points. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one and this one. So I'm going to start at the top. This line's going down, so our slope should be negative. So 1, 2, so negative 2 over 1, which is just negative 2. Our y-intercept is 0, 4, and our x-intercept is 2, 0. Okay, on the next one, our slope will be positive. Okay, so we're going to pick our 2 points. So I'm going to go up 1, so plus 1. To the right 2, so plus 2, so 1/2 is our slope. Our y-intercept is 0, 2, and our x-intercept is negative 4, 0. Okay, on this one, remember it's a y equals, so this is a horizontal, so it's a Hoy equation. Remember, if it's a Hoy, this is our slope, so it is 0. Okay, remember you can always make this into a z for 0 as well. So our y-intercept is 0, 2. This line will never cross the x, so there is no x-intercept, so we write none. Okay, remember on the table, it's change in y over change in x. So we're going to find our change in x. 3 to 5 is a plus 2. 5 to 7, plus 2. 7 to 8, plus 1. 8 to 10, plus 2. Then we do the same thing on the y side. 4 to 8, plus 4. 8 to 12, plus 4. 12 to 14 is a plus 2. 14 to 18 is a plus 4. Okay, We have two different pairs of numbers, so we're going to have two fractions. So the first one will be 4 over 2, which is just 2. The second one is going to be 2 over 1, which is also 2. So our slope is 2. Okay, so here we have change in x, change in y. So 1 to 4 is a plus 3, 4 to 10 plus 6, 10 to 13 plus 3, 13 to 22 plus 9. Here we're subtracting, so minus 2, negative 7 to negative 11 is minus 4. Negative 11 to negative 13 is a minus 2. Negative 13 to negative 19 is a minus 6. So we have three different sets, so we're going to have three different fractions. So we have negative 2/3. We have a negative 4 over 6, which reduces to negative 2/3. And we have a negative 6 over 9, which also reduces to negative 2/3. So our slope is negative 2 over 3. Okay. Tamara has an ice cream cone that is 36 centimeters high. So that's going to be our B because that's where we're beginning. It is melting, so it's going to be negative, at a rate of 2 centimeters per second. So that's our M. So we have y equals negative 2x plus 36. Sam is filling up a bucket of water. There is already 17 inches, so that's our B, of water in the bucket, and it is filling, so we're adding at a rate of 3 inches per second. So we're going to have y equals 3x plus 17. Okay. All right, remember domain is our x. There's no arrows here, so we're going to go ahead and set up our inequality, and we're going from left to right. So on the left, we look at the x, we have negative 5. It's closed, so we need a line. To the right, we have positive 5. It's open, so we don't need a line. Okay, the range is our y's, and we go bottom to top. So at the bottom, we have negative 2, and that is an open circle, so no line. At the top, we have positive 3, that is closed, so we need a line. Okay, remember this is a linear function, so it's in y equals mx plus b. Anytime you have a linear function, your domain is all real numbers, and your range is also all real numbers. Okay. Determine whether the lines are parallel. So remember, parallel meant they had the same slope. Perpendicular meant we switch and flip. And if it's neither of those, then it's just neither. So we're looking at the m. So we have an m of 1/3, m of 1/3. Those are exactly the same, so they are parallel. Here we have negative 2 over 5, and we have negative 5 over 2. So they flipped, but they didn't switch, so it's neither. Okay, because they did not switch signs. Okay, here I need to move the x and change the sign, divide by the number in front of y. So we have y equals negative 4x, and remember that's over a 1, plus 16. So I have negative 4, and I have positive 1/4. So they switch signs, and the fraction is flipped, so they are perpendicular. Okay, write the equation of a line that is parallel to the x-axis and passes through the point 4, 9. Okay, so the x-axis, that's where we want to start. That is horizontal. So if it's parallel, I also want my new line to be horizontal. So remember, this is hoi vux, so that's hoi. So I'm looking at the y, so my equation is y equals 9. Write the equation of a line that is parallel to the y-axis and passes through the point -5, 3. So the y-axis is vertical, so parallel, I want it to also be vertical. So that is vux. So I have x equals -5. Write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to the x-axis and passes through the point to -7. So I still start with the axis. It's horizontal. Since it's perpendicular, I don't want it to be horizontal, so it has to be vertical. So that is vux. So x equals 2. Okay, last one. Write the equation of a line that is perpendicular to the y-axis and passes through -1, 5. So the y-axis is vertical, perpendicular, I want it to be horizontal. So that is a hoi equation. So I have y equals 5.